I swear. Okay. All right, solving equations and inequalities graphically. This section last year in pre-calc, this was supposed to be an easy, like feel-good section. Like this is all great, but for some people this wasn't. Here was the difference. When people started this lesson right away, they started this homework right away, it went pretty well. But people who are getting caught up on 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, if that's you, then by the time you get to this, you're not going to remember how to do it. That's just going to be life. Okay? So, solve this equation. Algebraically, this is nice and easy. Let's all just remember how to do this, and then we're going to use our graphing calculators. Okay, so first step to solving this algebraically, what do? Distribute the 5. So 3x minus 2 equals 5x plus 10 minus 3. I can combine like terms. 3x minus 2 is equal to 5x plus 7. Subtract 5x, negative 2x minus 2 is equal to 7. Add the 2, negative 2x is equal to 9. Divide by negative 2. And you get x is negative 4.5. Oh, if all math was only that easy, right? So here's what you're learning today. Great mathematicians know how to solve a problem more than one way. That way they can check to see if they've done it correctly or incorrectly. So I'm going to teach you 2 ways to also solve that graphically using your calculators. Now, here's one way to solve it graphically. Y equals 3x minus 2, and y equals 5 times x plus 2 minus 3. What did I just do there? What did you say, Bailey? Whatever you said, it was correct. I can't split it up into 2 equations. Good. They're both equal to y. Why am I able to do that? Because they're equal to each other. Substitution. If I plug this in for y, I have that equation, right? So really, I could solve this equation by modeling it like this. Now, where these 2 lines are equal to each other is where they intersect. So I'm answering this question. Where do they intersect? And am I looking for the x value of their intersection or the y value of their intersection? X. Well, let's use our graphing calculator. I love this TI-83 up here. So cool compared to where I started teaching that you can use this type of stuff. Okay, so for one of these, so for the first one, we go 3x minus 2. And for another one, we go 5 parentheses x plus 2 minus 3. So I'm going to type both those in and graph them and look for the intersection point. Yeah. What? No, but you might have equations later on that if you try to simplify them, it will change the nature of the function, and that could be problematic. So, no, you could distribute the 5, that's fine, but I'm just showing you I got one, I got the other. And then I'm going to graph in a standard viewing window. So I'm going to zoom 6, zoom standard is the way that you can see this. Can you actually see their intersection spot? No. So let's we need to go down further, right? So let's adjust our window. Do I need to adjust my x values or y values? The y values. I will put my y minimum down to, we'll go negative 50. Then I should see it. Anybody know what this YSCL is? That's how often you have a tick mark. So right now I have a tick mark every 1 space, so I'm going to have 60 of them. I don't like all those tick marks, so I'm just going to put 10. That way I'll only have 6 tick marks. Now I press graph. Now can you see the intersection point? Good. How can your calculator solve for the intersection point? Second, calculate. Then what? Number 5, intersection. Now, let your calculator help you out. Understand what your calculator is asking you. What is your calculator asking you right now? It's saying, what is the first curve that you would like to choose? I mean, you could have, 10 different curves drawn, you guys. So it's just asking you, is this one of them that you want to use? Is that one of them I want? Yeah, so I press enter. Then if you look, it bounces over to the next one. Y sub 2 equals 5 times x plus 2 minus 3. That's my second one, so I press enter. Now it's asking you to guess. That's so it can get to the closest intersection point, because there are some equations that intersect more than once. So I'm just going to press enter on that without guessing, and it says the intersection is negative 4.5, negative 15.5. We said we were simply solving for the x value. We have confirmed that the intersection is negative 4.5. Any questions? Everybody know how to do that? Okay, let's do something else then. Here's the second way you could solve it graphically. Second way you could solve it graphically is set everything equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3x minus 2. And I'm going to subtract everything over. So minus, I'll put it in parentheses, 5 times parentheses x plus 2 parentheses minus 3 parentheses equals 0. You write that down, and then you got to be able to ask the right question. If I'm wondering where that thing is equal to 0, what does it mean for a graph to be equal to 0? Where is a graph equal to 0 visually? The origin is the point 0, 0, but we're going to say that the y value is equal to 0. So where on the coordinate plane is the height of a function equal to 0? X-axis. So we're wondering, where does the graph cross the x-axis? We are really looking for the x-intercepts. Remember we practiced that the other day? Well, we're going to do that now. And so I could take out my calculator again, and I'm going to clear that and clear that. And if I just type in that equation and look for where it crosses the x-axis, that will be the solution. So 3x minus 2 minus parentheses 5 parentheses x plus 2 parentheses minus 3 parentheses. Let's get that typed in. And now I'm going to zoom standard, zoom 6. Oh boy. Is that negative 4.5? We're looking for it crosses the x-axis. I go second, calculate. Anybody know what I choose? Who's the smart one today? 0. Yeah, we're wondering where it's equal to 0. We choose the 0. Hannah DeVries is a smart one today. Way to go, Hannah. Whose name is almost a palindrome, but is not. Saddens me. Okay. Okay, so it's blinking. I have to be to the left of that intersection spot. So for the x values, I have to be to the left. Am I to the left? No. So I'm going to move till my dot is to the left. Anywhere to the left. So I press enter. And you can see it gives you that little triangle up there showing you that that's the one bound so far. Your calculator is actually using Newton's method. It's using some calculus principles in order to do this. Then I move to the right. And I press enter. And enter. And it finds it. X is negative 4.5. What do you think? Tell me, you can do this, you can't, this is easy, this is difficult. What do you get? Oh, you want to see it again? Okay. Yep. Calculate. 2. I move to the left of that spot. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. There's my right. and I press enter on guess. There's times where you would have to choose a good guess, but not till next year. Second semester next year. Okay, any questions on that? You guys got it? Easy? All right, let's try something harder. Let's go. Other side. I don't want to do anything harder. I want to do the easy stuff. But I don't want to, Mr. Gantz. That's the great thing about college. You can choose when you want to go. You can choose when you don't want to go. And then you realize you're paying $1 for every minute you're in class. And you say, I'm going to go every single day. Good for you. Okay, so we have y is equal to 0.32x squared minus 3x, and we have y equals x to the third minus 5, because we're trying to solve this inequality. And it's important that you learn to ask yourself the right question. In fact, that's really what mathematics is all about. That's what philosophy is all about. That's what a lot of learning is all about. Learning to ask yourself the right question. Have you guys heard that in Mr. Scores class? Learn to ask yourself the right question. You got to do that. Okay? So, this says that this is less than that. What does that mean graphically? Where is graph 1 below graph 2? I mean, that's what that's asking, right? Where is it less than that? Where is it lower than that? Where is it below that? That's what I'm trying to answer. Now, I can't move on unless you get that. Does everybody see how I answer that question? Or ask that question? Once you see that, then the rest is easy. Take out our calculator. Y equals. And we'll type in 0.32x squared minus 3x, and that will be one y value. And then we'll go x to the third minus 5. I have my two equations. I'm wondering where is the first one below the second one. I'm in a standard viewing window. Okay, so, and now what? Oh, don't do that. So I press trace. So your calculator even tells you I'm on y sub 1, which is my parabola. That's the first one. Okay? So you tell me, look at my cursor. Is that graph below the other graph at this spot? So for an x value of negative 1.5, you can see that this graph is on top of the other one. So the negative 1.5 is not part of the solution set. I'm going to keep moving. And you can see your x values. Even for x is 0.42, you can see that I'm still greater than that one. But as soon as you get to that spot, you can see that it transfers over. Now, this graph is below the other one, right? So, what point am I looking for? The intersection. Once I can find this intersection spot, I can answer that question. From this point on over, this graph will always be less than the other graph. Does everybody see that? Does that make sense? From this point on over, this graph will be less than the other graph. Well, let's find it. Intersection. Second, calculate. 5. First curve, sure. Second curve, sure. No guess. Positive 1.22. Now, it's an inequality, so I need to express my solution as an inequality. Somebody tell me. I know 1.2 is important, but all x values less than 1.22, all x values greater than 1.22. Yeah, so for x greater than 1.22. because everywhere to the right, that top function is below the bottom function. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. One more. Let's subtract everything over. 0 is less than x to the third minus 0.32 x squared plus 3x minus 5. And by the way, after we test next week, Wednesday, I'm going to give you guys a nice assignment where you can get to know your graphing calculators better. So if you're fuzzy on some of these things, we'll work on that in class. Okay. So this says, where is this thing greater than 0? What does that mean graphically? Say it, Billy. Where is it above the x-axis? Where is the graph above the x-axis? You know, the x-axis separates the positive values from the negative values. So that's you know where the division is. That's where 0 is. So we're wondering where it's above. So I could just look at that. So this is a second way to do it. On your assignment, you can choose either way. I don't care. I just want to show you there's two ways to do it, two thoughts. So I go back to my calculator and I plug in x to the third minus 0.32 x squared plus 3x minus 5. And I graph. So, am I above the x-axis there? No. For an x value of 1.06, am I above the x-axis? No. But you move just a little bit further and you can see that you are here. So the spot that we're looking for is the 0 of the function again. So we go second, calculate. Number 2 is the 0. And we need to be to the left. Enter. And we need to be to the right. Enter. Enter on guess. And it calculates that one spot, 1.22. And you can see that if I move to the right, the graph continues to be above. If you move to the left, it continues to be below. We want to be above. So we say x has to be greater than 1.22. It's okay. I wasn't making fun of you. I was just having some good memories about your brother. What a great individual he is. So Jensen, as you're watching this video, we think you're a great person. We welcome you back into class. Trenton thinks you're mean. But Trenton doesn't realize that this is Survivor math class and he's getting kicked off tomorrow. So, all right. Page 112, 27 through 29 and 31, those are where you do algebra, and then you could just confirm, not algebraically, graphically. Confirm graphically. And then it says 37 through 41 odd and 49 through 52 all. You can just do those graphically on your calculator. And I really do hope that this is an easy assignment. But one last thing I want to show you is let's suppose that they had this. X plus 2 is equal to 5. And they wanted you to solve for that. That would be an easy problem, right? Let's say that they wanted you to solve this and they say in the window 0, 6. All that means is that, what is your answer here? All that means is that your answer is between 0 and 6. That's all that means. That your solution is in that interval. That's all it means. You don't have to do anything with it. Okay? That confuses a lot of people. Ready, set, go.